Ever watched your dog, your fun-loving, happy-go-lucky buddy, just completely transform in an instant because of some everyday sound? You know, a door slams, thunder rumbles way off in the distance, or you turn on the vacuum, and suddenly they're terrified? It's a really common thing, and honestly, it can be pretty baffling for us owners.
Or maybe it's the 4th of July. The fireworks are going off and your dog is just in a full-blown panic, trying to crawl under the bed or behind the sofa. If any of this is ringing a bell, trust me, you are so not alone.
So let's dive in. We're going to break down the science behind why this happens, and this is the important part. We're going to give you a real action plan to help your dog feel safer and a whole lot more confident in our very noisy world. To really get why they're so scared, we've got to start with their ears, because their sense of hearing, it's nothing short of a superpower.
I mean, look at this difference. It's just staggering. We humans, we top out at around 20,000 hertz. But dogs, they can hear all the way up to 65,000. That means they're hearing a whole world of sounds that we're completely oblivious to. The high-pitched whine from our TVs, the buzz from the lights, even the low-frequency rumbles of a storm that's still miles away. For them, it can be like a constant sensory overload.
And this is not some rare, unusual problem. A big study from the University of Bristol found that almost half, 49% of all dogs show some kind of sensitivity to noise. So that feeling that you're the only one with a dog who trembles during a storm? Yeah, millions of other dog owners are going through the exact same thing.
So where does this fear even come from? Well, it's not just one thing, it's a complicated mix. Genetics definitely plays a role. Herding breeds like border collies are often just wired to be more reactive to sound. For rescue dogs, past trauma can create these really powerful negative associations. Sometimes it's just a learned behavior. One single bad experience as a puppy can create a phobia that lasts a lifetime. And then there are these key developmental stages, like the second fear period that hits when they're teenagers, where they can suddenly become scared of things that never bothered them before.
Okay, so our dogs can't just come up and tell us, hey, that sound is really freaking me out. So it's up to us to become experts at reading their signals, at understanding their body language. Let's get into what to look for, starting with the biggest culprits.
And no real surprises here, right? Fireworks, thunderstorms, and vacuum cleaners are the big three. But you have to remember, for a dog, it's so much more than just a loud noise. Fireworks are these sudden, unpredictable explosions in the sky. A thunderstorm brings changes in air pressure and static electricity that they can literally feel in their fur. And the vacuum? It's a roaring monster that's invading their home, their safe space. I'm betting at least one of these hits pretty close to home for you. But you know what? Recognizing the enemy is always the first step in figuring out how to win the battle for a calm, happy dog.
When a dog gets that terrified, their body goes into pure fight or flight mode. You'll see the physical stuff. The panting, the trembling, maybe even drooling. Then come the behavioral reactions, like desperately digging at a door or chewing on the furniture. And it's so important to remember, that's not them being bad, that's a genuine escape attempt. And of course you'll hear it too, the whining, the nonstop barking. It's a full-blown panic attack.
All right, we've talked about the why and the what. Now for the most important part, the how. What can we actually do about it? This is your toolkit. Your action plan for helping your best friend feel safe and secure.
The gold standard here, the strategy that really works for the long haul, is called desensitization. The whole idea is to slowly, carefully, change your dog's mind about a scary sound. You're basically rewiring their brain to think, oh, that boom doesn't mean danger, it means I'm about to get a piece of chicken. It takes time, it takes patience, but it absolutely works.
Every single dog needs a safe space, their own little den. This could be a crate covered with some heavy blankets, a walk-in closet, maybe even an interior bathroom with no windows. The most important thing is that it's their choice to go there. You can make it even better by adding a fan or a white noise machine to help drown out the scary sounds from outside. It becomes their personal sanctuary.
Here's another powerful tool: gentle, constant pressure. It's the same idea as swaddling a baby. Products like the Thundershirt give your dog a feeling of being held, which is incredibly calming. And get this, one scientific study found that a whopping 80% of dogs showed improvement during storms when they wore one. It's definitely something to look into. You can also fight sound with sound. A good white noise machine is amazing for masking those sudden, sharp bangs from fireworks. And here's a fun fact for you. A study found that classical music and, believe it or not, reggae were both particularly good at lowering stress hormones in dogs. For really extreme cases, you can even get noise-canceling headphones made just for pups.
Look, I know all of this can feel like a lot, and it can be a bit overwhelming, so let's look at some proof that these techniques can make a massive difference.
So meet Rusty. Rusty used to bolt and run for miles at the very first pop of a firework. His family decided to try a 6-month sound buffet. They played firework sounds, starting super quiet, and paired them with his favorite thing in the world, steak. The result? By the next 4th of July, those scary booms meant a party was starting, and now he just wags his tail waiting for his treat.
And then there's Pico. Pico is a tiny 4-pound chihuahua who had a massive grudge against the vacuum cleaner. I love this. His owner said he had full-blown appliance rage.
Their solution was just brilliant. They basically turned the vacuum into a game. First, he got treats for just looking at the vacuum when it was off. Then, they'd turn it on in another room while he was playing his favorite game. The final step? He was promoted to cleaning supervisor. When the vacuum was running, his job was to collect the cleaning tax, a steady stream of treats dropped right near the machine. He went from mortal enemy to happy coworker.
So, what's the bottom line here? Let's boil it all down. First, empathize. Remember that their incredible hearing can also be a huge burden. Second, explain. Understand this fear isn't their fault. It's a deep-seated mix of instinct and experience. And finally, and most importantly, empower. Know that you have the tools and the ability to make a huge positive difference in your dog's life. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's your dog's #1 noise trigger? What's that one sound that just sets them off? And based on everything we just talked about, what is one small, manageable thing you can do starting today to begin changing that story and making their world feel just a little bit safer?